is working. Oh. Gadget issues. Nothing new. Taking a little break out on the side of Wanted to plug in yesterday afternoon, just wasn't feeling good. Kind of wiped out. But I'm trying to stay plugged in every day. I enjoy a good conversation with you good folks. You lift my spirits. Lonely old man out in the sticks all by himself. Crazy. My crazy life. Oh, look. Somebody's popped in already. Feel better? I'm doing okay. A little under the weather today. Definitely not feeling good, but, you know, do the best. What's up, brother? Perfect timing. Just got off work. Ooh, that must be a good feeling. I'm so stoked for you, man. I'm so glad you got a job. I know how important that is and how good it feels to be earning a paycheck, man. Good for you. Oh, trying to stay plugged in every day. Been pretty stressed out myself lately, just a lot on the plate, but, you know, still got to do the damn thing. Taking a little break from the action out here in the yard. Thanks, man. Today was my first official day. Love it so far. Right on, dude. Good for you. Here, let me share a little view. I sit out here and just soak up Mother Nature, man. It helps decompress me from all my stress. It's so pretty. Oh, shit. Knocking over my coffee cup. Oh, but I wanted to come out and say thank you to all you good folks out there. All you misfits. LM, Johnny, I'm going through a semi-grieving process. Long story. I need your input since you're an INFJ. Yeah, man, shoot. Anything I can do to help, just let me know. Whatever questions you got, man. I know all about that grief stuff for an INFJ, man. It tears me up every day. My thoughts and prayers, LM. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Do you have an email? I do, but I'm not going to put it out here, man. I've gotten a lot of grief from my trolls. Man, dude, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's cost me a lot of problems putting it out here. Uh-oh, talking too much. Oh, gotcha, yeah. Tell you what though, LM, if you want to go on an old video and leave a question or something that the trolls won't see, we can try to work something out. The problem is, I did my live yesterday and busting a little balls about my troll and whatnot. And one of our misfits, Eric, said it took him 10 tries to get a comment to stay up. So my stalker, I'm sure he's sitting there watching right now. It's sad that there's so many shitheads out there in the real world that keep good people from just having a good time. Quick question, do you believe in Jesus? Yes, I do. You better believe it. That's Bugatti. Do you believe in Jesus? Yes. It's best to be careful then. Don't worry about it. Yeah, man. But I'd be glad to help any way I can, for sure, LM. What color is Jesus, if you don't mind me asking? Doesn't matter what color Jesus is. To me, that's irrelevant. I'll go back to an old video where you mentioned INFJ. There you go. There you go, LM. Well, if Jesus would be dark brown. I appreciate you, Johnny. Thank you. Much love. Big hugs. Thank you, LM. Same to you. You know, coming out here and trying to help helps. You know, I'm always talking about doing a kind act for a stranger, and it helps. Helping each other, it's just good medicine for the soul. If it doesn't matter, I just want to know what color he is. Well, I honestly don't know what color Jesus is. I never met the man. Wolf, I agree. Please feel better. Thank you, LM. I'm trying, man. It's been tough. LS. Oh, he's nice to see everyone. And INFJ conversation so cool. I'm an INFP. There you go. Yeah, that personality typing thing helps a lot. You know, knowing what comes natural to you, and it just I go on and on about knowing what your personality type is and how that helps you navigate in the world. The Bible talks about Jesus, how you don't know, but you know his name, but not his color or race. That doesn't matter to me. What color Jesus is or what his race is, Jewish, Christian, Muslim, I don't get hung up on none of that. My relationship with God is in my heart. I'm not a fan of religion. It causes too much division. You know, I look for a personal relationship with God. I don't get hung up on the details, my friend. It's so crappy sometimes. Too idealistic. There you go. Hey, what do you think is right to cope with anger, expressing it, or controlling it? That's a good question. When it comes to anger, you have to manage it, control it, but you also need to vent. But you got to find a constructive way to let it out, or you got to sit with it knowing that it's going to pass. I've dealt with anger my whole life. My mom was angry, and I've been angry since I was a kid, and it's caused me a lot of grief. And now, learning about PTSD and where my anger comes from, when I feel it coming on, I just sit in it and think about what I'm going to say before I say it. Excellent answer, Johnny. Yeah, there you go, Wolf. Good afternoon. Tony's in the house. LS. Find a good outlet for your anger. It doesn't hurt anyone. Yeah. Working out with weights, punching on a heavy bag, going for a walk, trying to get out of that headspace, knowing that that anger is going to pass. You got to find a constructive way to deal with it, because it'll eat you up inside, and you got to let it go. I got plenty of things that make me angry, but message held for review. Let's see. Folks think they're not going to pay for their crimes here on earth. Yeah, I don't need to post that. Yeah, going to and meditation. There you go. My brother meditates. He too. He says that helps him a lot. That's how he helps cope with his anger. Because like me, my brother's quite angry, and he did time in San Quentin and Corcoran, so he's got a lot to deal with. Talking to caring people help. Exactly, Ls, and that's one of the reasons I wanted to plug in today, because I wasn't feeling too good, and you guys always lift my spirits, and I wanted to show appreciation and say sorry about all the drama in the comment section and the games people play, and the folks that stick through it and don't put up with it. I really appreciate it, because I get a lot of heat with this YouTube channel. I really do. Meditation and breathing and exercise is very helpful. Absolutely, Wolf. Good advice. You can also talk to God in your head. I do it every day, dude. I was out here last night looking at the stars, and it got me thinking, as above, so below. That drawing a blank. Anyway, I'll try to think of it. It's been long, man. The last live I watched, I was when you had court stuff. How's it been going? I got one more court date. It's worked itself out. I think it's all going to be fine. It's been very stressful. And thanks for the thumbs up, by the way. I see 2 of them up there. I appreciate you guys. It's been tough, but I think it's all ironed out, and I'm moving. I'm going to find a new place to live where I'm more accepted, or at least left alone. I get a lot of heat in this town. Folks just don't like me, and I don't want to be somewhere where I'm not liked. It adds to my pressure and my stress. I don't need it. I've had enough drama for one lifetime, believe me. Oh, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as in heaven, right? I was out here in the yard staring at the stars, not feeling good. Sometimes I struggle just wanting to be here anymore. Grief. And I know what's waiting for me on the other side. I look forward to that day. Tired of being unhappy, stressed out. Especially because all I want to do is help, right? Save dogs. Help some broken humans that get life the way we do. Be there for each other. Say nice things to each other. Lift each other up. Say prayers for each other. That's important to me. I hear that, and I feel that way too sometimes. Yeah, it's tough, man. It's a cruel world we live in, and I have a hard time accepting it. Just want to be happy. There ain't been much happiness in my life. Can I offer you verses? Sure, absolutely, man. I'm all about God and prayers and staying plugged into God and talking about that and sharing it, I got a little chipmunks. I get these little chipmunks that come running by. They're so cute. They always lift my spirits, right? I'm worn out. That's my biggest problem. I'm real worn out. I need a break. But it's a long way off. I gotta sell this property, find a new home, move yet again. I lived in 15 different foster homes, bounced back and forth between mom and the foster homes, and just so much moving my whole life, man. I'm tired of moving. I just want to settle somewhere and watch dogs run around. And it feels like it's so far away. You guys help. Coming out here and staying plugged in, you guys help. You really do. Even with all the nonsense and the trolls and the hassles with having a YouTube channel, you guys help. Thanks for posting those Peter 1:6-9 and all that stuff. I don't know the Bible so well, but I appreciate you putting that up there, man. Oh yeah, I had so much trauma in losing your dogs. Brutal. Yeah. It's rough. Some days I'm just in a real dark place. And other days, not so bad. And lately it's been real shitty. And there are those out there that take advantage of that, right? Poke at the bear, raise my stress levels and all that. I don't get why people feel the need to hassle a complete stranger. You know, instead of doing a kind act for a stranger, like I'm always talking, it's tough. But I've been through so much in life that I have an inner strength to put up with the bullshit. It's the only thing that gets me through, right? God, faith in God and all that, that helps a lot, but we're only human, right? And some people you can only take so much. And my plate's been full for a long time. A real long time. And when I moved here, I had such high expectations. I really thought things were gonna kick off and I'd have help and doggies and I mean, auto shop, barn, spare house, 30 acres, big house behind me. This would have been perfect for Misfit Island. And it turned into a shit show. And it broke my heart. I love this piece of property. I don't want to move, but I don't have a choice. I can't be here and be hated on and deal with that constant stress, man. You know, my hassles with folks in the neighborhood and the cops and the this and the that and trying to get help and call people and they don't call me back and get stink eye in town by some people and other people are friendly and nice. It's just, it's too much to put up with, man. It wears me down. It's hard on an old man. You know, not to mention with my dogs dying and being stuck here alone, I got no one to talk to. That's why I appreciate you guys so much. And getting older makes it worse. Tired, health, losing loved ones. Amen. Amen. And my health is for shit. And I know this ain't exactly helping matters, but I quit smoking for 10 years. And I've only been smoking for the last 2. Yeah, exactly. LS, LOL while you're smoking. Yeah. But, you know, no 420 up here. And 420 helped with the pressure and the stress. It would take the edge off. And now these things are the only thing I got. And it's lousy. I know. But, you know, to be quite honest, smoking these things is part of that. Don't give a shit if I go. Suicide by cigarette. Fuck. Not really. I'm just trying to make light of it, you know? I want to be healthy, man. But this illness I've been dealing with, this parasite issue, it's still with me. And it's been grinding on me for 2 years now. And sometimes when I pray to God, I ask Him, you know, when can I get a little relief? When can I get just a little help? Tell you what, man, when you put grief on top of isolation, on top of loneliness, on top of stress, you go back and look at some videos that are a couple years old, and you look at my face back then and you look at my face now. I've aged a lot in 3 years. A lot. It takes its toll on you, man. My prayers are with you, sir. Thank you for that. I appreciate the kind words. Michael King's back in the house. Good to see you, Michael. Johnny, you're got us. We need you so much as you need us. We love you, Johnny. Thank you, Michael King. Thank you. I appreciate that a great deal. That's why I wanted to come out here and express my gratitude for all you good folks out there saying nice words, man. I was just thinking about you, Michael. Just last night when I was staring at the stars, thinking about my daughter. How I wish I would have fought for custody. And I didn't do right by my kid. Her mom took her to Oregon when I lived in California, and I should have fought. I shouldn't have let her leave the state with my daughter. And I regret that deeply. You'll be a good dad. We are pressured in every way, but not crushed. Amen. There you go. Perplexed, but not driven to despair. Haunted and respected. Oh man, sorry I don't read so good. I appreciate that comment. HLONI. Oh man, I'm having a hard time saying your name. Sorry about that. But not understand. Got it. Shirkin, good luck and God bless, Misfits. Thank you, Shirkin. LS, could you have had an easier? You could have had. You could have easily had 10 kids. Thank you, LS. Oh, Cindy, so good to see you, young lady. Hugs and love right back to you. You did what you could, Johnny, and thanks, man. Same here, every day. There you go, Michael. Hindsight's always 20/20. It's easy to look back and see what you could have done differently. I don't dwell on the past, but I get haunted quite a bit. This lousy PTSD brings up memories that are really, really vivid. And you can't just flip a switch. It's like anger. When I get stuck on memory lane, I gotta work through it. It's real powerful. And memories come on randomly. I could be in the middle of doing something and then something pops in my head and takes me back. And it's tough. On top of everything else, you know? But as a little kid, I was forced to mature early. being told I was the man of the house at 11 and all that, watching out for my mom and my brothers. So being the man of the house and manning up, as they say, it's something I've done my whole life. Stiff upper lip and all that. But as you get older, it gets harder. You know, being worn down and tired and sick, and it just builds up. Sometimes, like I said before, I just feel like I'm sinking into a big black hole. Get to praying for God to take me, you know. But he brought me to this town for a reason. I'm sure of it. He knows what's in my heart. He knows what I'm trying to do and what I do out here on a regular. Kind act for a stranger and all those gentle reminders. That's God's work. He pushes me. There's no doubt about it. He pushes me and keeps me alive. You know. See, I watched my mom and my baby brother, rest in peace, both of them, try to leave this world early at their own hand, taking pills and getting their stomach pumped. I seen that. Seen it up close and personal. But that's never been in me, you know. It's just not there. That's one thing I've never struggled from, was thoughts of cashing out early. But there are times where I just wish I was gone. I can't deny that. But that's not my place. That's God's place. He takes me when he's good and ready. And in the meantime, I'll endure whatever I have to. You know, I learned a great deal through suffering. It's taught me a lot about life. And coming out here and passing that on is important. Letting other people know that you can go through life struggles and still come out on the other side, you know? It's not over till it's over, kind of thing. Do you sleep well? Not lately. I was sleeping pretty good for a while, but most of my life I've struggled with good sleep. And taking melatonin, it'll knock you on your butt for a couple hours, and then when you wake up, you're wide awake. To me, that makes it worse. When I struggle sleeping, most of the time, if I try to quit thinking so much and just try to lay still, I can fall back to sleep. But lately, my sleep's been for shit. Can't keep these cigarettes lit for nothing. I'm sure that's for the better. Oh, man. We're in some strange times. Really, really strange times. Quite often I reflect on how life used to be before technology took over the planet, how the government worked, the Constitution, our rights and our freedoms, how all that has changed in my lifetime. And now looking at this election that's coming up real soon, my heart goes out to the younger generation. Kids that never got to see what I saw, and they get brainwashed by technology. They don't have any reference. I got a lot of reference for the way things should be. But a lot of youngsters, they have nothing to balance the scales with. And they're so easily manipulated and believe everything they see and read. My heart goes out to the youngsters, man. It really does. Johnny, but stay strong and ignore the people that hate on you. Also, just want to say thank you for your advice. You're welcome, man. You're welcome. And like I was saying, the single most important thing you can do raising a child is love them. Always show them that you love them, no matter what. Don't raise your voice. If you got to discipline your child, take their toys away, a little paddle on the butt, but don't yell at them, right? Like I said, I made a lot of mistakes being angry. Children should never have to see anger. They need discipline, not anger. I have faith in the good Lord. I believe He'll help me get through and turn this around one day. And when He does, I'll make Him proud. I guarantee it. After what I've been through lately, I get the opportunity to do my little doggy rescue. Wait till you see those videos. The only tears you'll see out here is tears of joy. Won't be me sitting here talking about hard times. I watch a lot of YouTube channels that rescue dogs, and it lifts my spirits, watching other people do for dogs. We all get angry, Johnny, but a real man will never be angry at a child or a woman. Amen. Absolutely. Little bug. Well said, Michael King. Well said, my friend. Thank you guys, by the way. I see 12 and 9. I like it when the scales are turned the other way. Let it all out. It's okay to cry. Yeah. Been doing a fair amount of that lately. I try to keep that to myself. I don't like rubbing that off on other people, man. Sometimes I like to listen to Johnny Cash. Amen. I do too. Johnny Cash always makes me think of Mom. She listened to a lot of Johnny Cash. Now you got me going down memory lane again. I love his music. I haven't been listening to much music lately. I used to listen to music every day, but I haven't been listening to much of it lately. It can really bring me down. It takes me down memory lane sometimes, and it's that black hole sinking into that music, and it's kind of tough. So I've been on a diet with my music lately. Didn't Johnny Cash sing Ring of Fire? Yeah, yep. He's got a lot of great songs. A lot of great songs. Very powerful songs. Great message in his music. Really is. A Boy Named Sue. The what was the lyrics? Man, I can't think. My head's too full of shit right now. The mud, the blood, and the beer, or something like that. He was an average man. You know what I mean? Humble upbringings, had a tough childhood and all that. You could tell by his music. You know, he was salt of the earth, as they say. He wasn't one of those big-headed celebrity kind of people, you know. He understood the broken person. Boy, he sure did. And he had his demons. No doubt about it. Johnny Cash had his demons, man. He felt for people in prison, you know. There was a time out here on YouTube I was trying to find ex-convicts to help me with the dogs because of their PTSD. But that community on YouTube, they stick together, shall we say. It's been my experience. If you're not part of that community, you're not really part of that community. He understood emotions. Boy, he sure did. Absolutely. Absolutely. Country music in general has a good message. And older rock and roll, same thing, has a good message. Mike. 50s and 60s country was full of real men. This last 2 decades, they have been dealing off, never to be replaced again. Amen, Mike. I agree. Yeah. If you've been around long enough and listened to music, it's just like everything else. The world has changed a great deal. A great deal. I grew up on Motown, a lot of soul music, Temptations and whatnot. More music that has a message and talks about a hard life, and just like older country music, same. Does anyone like any songs from the band Queen? Yeah, I used to listen to Queen when I was a kid. Absolutely. Even what was it called? Uh, 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 Even rock and roll like Poison and Journey, and that era of music, there was messages. Every rose has a thorn. But in this day and age, it's it's very different. What is your goal in life now? Save dogs. My passion is all about the dogs, man. It'll never change. I'll take that to the grave. I got but one goal, to start an old folks home for pit bulls. That's my passion. And that'll never change. I'll never get off that. I'm from Dearborn, Detroit. I love Motown. There you go, Mike. Yeah. I listen to all of it. The Ohio Players, the Isley Brothers, the Temptations, the Four Tops. I go on and on about my Motown. Boy, I love Motown. Growing up, that's all I heard. There you go. Yeah. Well, I was a white kid in a black neighborhood when I was young, and I was very influenced by Motown and soul music, and I still favorite music is soul music. Anything that has a heart and a soul to it, that tells a story, that sucks you in. Bird singing. Loved it. There you go, Michael King. Growing up, that's all I heard. Did you know about Rantin Tata? Rantin Tata? No, I don't think so. I'm sorry, I'm not reading that very good. Hmm. Yeah, Mom, she listened to a lot of old country. Grandpa used to watch Hee Haw and a lot of old television shows back in the day, and so country played a lot in the house when I was real young. And then living in a black neighborhood, I listened to a lot of soul music. And then when I moved out of that neighborhood in a different foster home, it was predominantly white neighborhood, and then it was, Led Zeppelin and Ted Nugent and Montrose and rock and roll. So I've lived with it all. Isaac Hayes. Oh my God, dude. Don't even get me started, Pusher Man. I know all about Isaac Hayes. Yes, sir. I love Isaac Hayes. And you think about Kid Rock, he was heavily influenced with Motown. You could hear it in his music. He has his own twist on it, but he's another person with very soulful music, music with a message. Reminiscent about music. I like that. For the ones that get it, there's nothing like music to take you out of your head. Sometimes it'll take you down a road that you might not want to go down because those memories might not be so good. But for the ones that understand it, it's food for the soul. Good music is food for the soul. Busy around here this morning. Usually it's pretty quiet. I was even into gangster rap. Once again, it's music with a message because I seen the injustice in the world, you know, when it comes to the cops. When I was real young, cops were respected and they were there to protect and serve. But over time, that changed. There's a lot of cops that got out of the military and became police officers, and they got their own PTSD and they got no business being a cop. I only like Christian music as I age. There you go, LS. Music is therapy. Michael King. Yes, it is. Absolutely. Absolutely. There's another soul singer. I'm trying to think of his name. Great music. I'm drawing a blank. I'd throw it out there, and I know Mike would know exactly who I'm talking about. Man, I can't think of his name. Anyway, memory's not what it used to be. Seeing Isaac Hayes got me thinking about this other cat from back then. He was very independent and wouldn't sell out his music. And I think if you put one of his songs up, you don't get jammed with a copyright strike because his music's not copyrighted. He didn't sell out. Howdy, brothers. Sending love from Tennessee. Dilbert, good to see you, man. Thank you. Sending love right back to you, brother. Man, I'm trying to remember this guy's name. It's bugging the living shit out of me. Oh. It's crap in my eyes. Marvin Gaye? No. The guy I'm thinking of was more, you know, like the song Pusher Man. Michael King. I met my wife at a Bryan Adams concert. Nice, good for you. Yeah, Mike, I'm trying to remember this guy's name. He sings Pusher Man. That wasn't Isaac Hayes, but the guy that sings Pusher Man, that's the one I'm thinking of. He just passed away at 86. He was revolutionary. Tata group in India. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Big businessman. Oh. Curtis Mayfield. Dilbert's got it. Curtis Mayfield. Oh my God. You got to go listen to some Curtis Mayfield. Thank you for that, Dilbert. Yes. Curtis Mayfield. There you go, Mike. That's who I was thinking of. Man, I love his music. He was way ahead of his times, and he wasn't liked by a lot of people, and I appreciate that about Curtis Mayfield. Justin, same thing. Yeah, Curtis Mayfield, man. His music is just so powerful, and he, you know, he's one of these guys. Fuck you. From Ted Nugent to Curtis Mayfield. And don't forget about Johnny Cash. Can't get over the traffic today, boy. Busy in the neighborhood. Michael King. Great singer. Yes, sir. Oh, yeah. Haven't listened to his music in a long time. Yeah, man. Go plug into some Curtis Mayfield and it'll put a smile on your face. It was such a simpler time back in the day. Jumping on your bicycle and going out to play, jumping in your car and going on a cruise. In California, there were 3 different areas: San Francisco, San Mateo, and San Jose. And we used to go cruising every Friday and Saturday night up and down the strip, yelling at girls in the other car and all that. I don't even think that happens anymore. Nickelback, yes, Michael King. I like me some Nickelback. Absolutely. More music that's got a message in it. You know, it's not just a bunch of racket. I was a big fan of Journey. Journey is kind of sappy, you know. They used to call it chick music. You know, a lot of my buddies be like, "Oh, why do you listen to Journey? That's sissy." I'm like, get out of here. You know, they just wanted all that loud head-banging bullshit. I like Journey. Sammy Hagar. Van Halen. You listen to a lot of those old songs? Rock and roll stuff back in the day like that? Good message in that music. I remember Curtis with a car full of friends. Boone's Farm. Oh my God, dude. Boy, did I get sick on that stuff. Oh yeah, Boone's Farm. Mad Dog 2020. Ooh, you want to talk about, oh man. Johnny used to do some drinking back in the day. That demon's been haunting me too, man. Wanting to get drunk to forget, deal with stress, but not a chance, man. Alcohol makes it so much worse. When you're going through hard times and you drink, you're just going to make it so much worse. MD 2020, that's serious stuff, yeah. Well, coming up in a black neighborhood, MD 2020, Old English 800 malt liquor, right? It was the cheap high. Everclear, oh man. The things you do when you're a kid. But I'm sober now. I found out the hard way what drinking does to me. Makes me even angrier. It's bad, right? But when I was a kid, I was a happy drunk. I only partied on the weekends. But as I got older and dealing with this PTSD nonsense, drinking was so bad. So bad. When I lived in the mobile home park and I was going through my workman's comp case and all that, it was so stressful. I started drinking every day. And boy, it just turned me into a raging asshole. I can look back and see it now, but back then I didn't see it. When you're in the middle of addiction, whatever it might be, you can't see what you're doing. You're oblivious. I haven't drank alcohol for 40 years. Good for you, Mike. Had my share when I was young. There you go. Yeah. You know, drinking as a kid, it's kind of go along to get along. You know, it was part of the world that we lived in back in the day, and drinking was socially acceptable. And not to mention, when I was real young, I remember when they had little tiny beer cans, little 6-ounce beer cans, and how adults would give beers to little kids, right? And mom was a drinker, big time drinker. She was an alcoholic, but she was on and off with it. Some people either drink or like pot. Yeah. See, the thing for me, smoking 420, it takes the edge off. It's medication. But living where I live, I haven't been able to lean on that. And, you know, being a pothead and staying stoned all day long and you don't get nothing done, that's not healthy. But when you suffer from the demons and you take a couple puffs off a joint, it takes the edge off. It's a crutch. But when things are real bad, it sure beats taking some kind of pill You know, mom used to take all kinds of pills. They had her on Thorazine and lithium and tranquilizers and antidepressants, and that made her life worse. I seen what it did to her. I got a phobia when it comes to taking pills. And I mean, push comes to shove, if you got to take a couple drags off a doobie to take the edge off, to me, that's no harm, no foul. But drinking, there is no benefits of drinking. And for those who can celebrate, tie one on at a wedding and whatnot, birthday party and New Year's Eve, and enjoy yourself, I don't see any harm in that. But folks that drink every day, it just ruins your life, man. Is the camera up behind you? No, that's a light, LED light. Oh, I think I just answered that one. Heroin is worse. Yes, it is. I've never messed with no smack. You know, taking pills and opiates was never my thing. For me, it was just alcohol. Alcohol was my only demon. Snorted for a short time in my life, partied with the ex-wife, you know. Growing up in the 80s, cocaine was a big thing. But I never had any problems with hard drugs. It was just alcohol that gave me grief. I'm having my first beer in 4 years. Be careful with that, Michael King. Slippery slopes and all that. But like I just said, if somebody can have a beer here and there, and no harm, no foul. But drinking it every day, forget about it. Now it's heroin, meth, and fentanyl. Yeah, Mike. Once again, the younger generation, what they're up against, you know, my whole life, 62 years old, I've never seen heroin. I didn't hang out with junkies. So I've never come across heroin or fentanyl or any of that stuff. Codeine, yes. I had some codeine pills when I had my wisdom teeth taken out, and I took those for pain. I remember laying on the couch and I felt like I was floating. But I never had no desire to party with opiates. I hope you're not having a beer in the bottle or a cup right now. Coffee. Coffee's my drug of choice these days. Coffee and, unfortunately, nicotine. Growing up in a black neighborhood, me and Curtis Mayfield, Cool Cigarettes, Old English 800, Mad Dog 2020. Don't forget about Ripple. I've had quite the eclectic life. Cools, yeah, there you go. I've seen a lot in one lifetime. LS, I don't like alcohol. I feel like garbage. Yeah, nothing worse than a hangover. Richmond for me. Booze played a big role in my family's life. Mom being a drinker. As a 12-pack party with my mom. But that was, you know, 70s. The hippies. Mom had friends that were hippies. There was this guy, friend of hers, running water, wore one of those white robe things like the hippies used to wear that looked like Jesus, came over the house and they were partying, and we had a cockroach on the wall, and this dude picked the cockroach off the wall and ate it. I could not believe what I saw. It gagged me. Oh, it's protein. He was a real hippie. Man. But drinking was part of the culture back then. Like I said, it was socially acceptable. Alcohol was everywhere. I grew up where everyone smoked. Ashtrays all over the house. Amen. Amen. I have no doubt breastfeeding me, she was smoking a cigarette. Are Marlboros any good? Yeah, I smoked Marlboros for a little while. I like menthol though. LS, me too. There you go. Yeah, ashtrays everywhere. No doubt about it. They don't even have ashtrays in cars anymore, I don't think. Cigarette lighters, back in the day. I used to go to the walk-in movie theater. You could smoke up in the upstairs, but you couldn't smoke downstairs. There were cigarettes in restaurants. While you're eating dinner, people were sitting there smoking cigarettes. It was a different world back then. In India, Bristol is famous for smoking. There you go. My grandfather always rolled Prince Albert. Yeah, my mom used to roll her own cigarettes too. She smoked Pall Mall cigarettes when she could afford them, but when she couldn't afford to buy a pack of cigarettes, she would roll her own. It was just cheaper. Grandpa, he smoked Camel non-filter cigarettes right up till they cut one of his lungs out. He worked in the shipyards around asbestos. He died of lung cancer. They cut one of his lungs out, sent him home from the hospital, and he died in his own bed. It's the way it used to be done back in the day. They didn't leave you in the hospital to die. You went home. Your family took care of you. Now they leave you in a hospital and bleed you dry and take all your money before you pass away, and you got nothing left to leave the family, How old was she when she had you? Mom was 20 when she had me, and I didn't know it until after Mom died. I found out through ancestry, through a relative, that Mom put a son up for adoption before I was born. And then she had my two brothers by a different dad. Rolling tobacco I'd make choose is amber leaf. But I suggest you consume cigarettes low, 1 time per day. There you go. Appreciate that. Yeah. I've been cutting back. I gotta quit. There's no doubt about it. I gotta quit. It's not helping me none, that's for sure. Once again, thank you guys for popping in. I really appreciate it. Having a good conversation with people that care about each other. You always lift my spirits. You guys give me faith that there's still good folks out there. You do. Like I said, I'm 2,000 miles away from home on 30 acres, all by my lonesome, and now my dogs are gone, and there's folks in this town that really don't like me, and it's a tough place for me to be right now. Justin, I personally can remember smoking on a plane. Yeah, absolutely. And it's a good thing that society has put the hammer down on smoking. You don't see a lot of kids smoking anymore, and that's a good thing. I wish to see traffic in California. Could you doing it for me? I'm not in California, sorry. Any ideas where you might settle at? No, I wish I did, man. I have no idea where I'm gonna go. I gotta go back to California for a little while, go see some doctors out there that I trust to get healthy, regroup. I'm gonna put this property up for sale in the spring, and wherever God takes me. I don't know what I'll be able to get out of this property, and that'll dictate a lot in regards to where I'm gonna go. I just want to get on, 10 acres somewhere where I can do my little doggy rescue and not be hated on for having pit bulls. There's a lot of towns and counties that outlaw pit bulls where you can't even own them. So I got a spider web on me. So I gotta do my homework. But in regards to where, I don't care. I just want to be at peace and save some dogs. But thanks for asking, Mike. Michael King, Johnny, if you live in the U.S., I'd be right by your side. Oh, I'll be living in the U.S., my friend. I'm not leaving the States. I don't know. I got some bug on my head. I got some folks talking about Maine. I got Maine on the radar. Been thinking about Michigan. So there's a lot of options out there. I have no idea. But my plan is once I get back to California and get healthy, that I want to travel and go see some places. Oh, I think my propane guy might be coming by. Yeah, sure enough, I got propane delivery. I may have to cut this off. I'm gonna see if he's coming in. Well, I don't know what. Backed up. Oh, he's backing in. All right, you guys, my propane delivery's here, so I'm gonna get off this gadget. Thank you. You guys really lift my spirits. I love you guys. Have a beautiful day. Much love and respect as always, and please, pretty please, a kind act for a stranger. Peace.